Hey guys, Martin here. I just wanted to post a quick update. I know I've been missing for a long time and you guys deserve some kind of explanation, so here it is. A few months ago I was hospitalized due to an intense flare-up of my medical condition, ulcerative colitis. It was something I'd already been hospitalized for before in 2015, so I was kind of expecting it to be a much simpler and swifter solution on the part of the medical personnel taking care of me. Unfortunately, due to some issues with medication, it didn't end up being very straightforward at all. As a matter of fact, I ended up being hospitalized for it 3 times in relatively quick succession in the last 4 months, which as you can imagine tends to take its toll physically as well as mentally. I won't lie, I'm a very easily stressed out person. I have a lot of issues with anxiety and stress, not to mention my well-documented trials with depression. Now this medical condition that I have is actually directly tied to your stress levels. So the more stress you feel, the more out of control the stress gets, the worse you feel and the worse the condition gets. I've never been able to take charge of my stress. Through most of my adult life, I've tried to just pay it as little mind as possible, just trying to get through it by sheer will and determination alone. But firstly, that's not a very healthy way to approach it, and if your body starts to work against you, then it becomes almost impossible. So yeah, having let stress take control of my body and my brain, I guess it makes more sense as to why I had to be hospitalized. Unfortunately, every time I was checked into the hospital, the doctors would recommend a different medication each time, and every time it would seem to be working okay, and then after about 2 weeks it would take a turn for the much worse. Combination of stress, diet, and just not being on the right bloody medication. I'm sure a number of you don't really want to hear about my medical problems and just want me to get back to work, which I understand. But I really did want to talk about this. I wanted to take a moment and talk about me hitting this wall, this wall made up of stress, anxiety, emotional issues, fear, and obviously medical problems. And because I don't really know how to handle those things, it became debilitating and demoralizing to a rather extreme level. Because I hadn't taken the time in my life to develop skills and coping mechanisms to deal with this intense level of stress, and instead just chose to let it affect me and pretend that it wasn't. Stress has had a hold on me for the last few months like it's never had before. To give you an idea of how bad things got, there was a period of a few weeks where I was getting maybe an hour's sleep every night, and I was kind of going out of my mind. And I lost about 50 pounds purely due to stress. I wasn't trying to lose any weight, I didn't even notice it until the doctor told me. And then after the 3rd time I was checked into the hospital for my colitis, I was then brought into the emergency room due to my suffering from a mental break of sorts, brought upon by stress, medication, and also dehydration was a big part of it apparently. I wasn't drinking nearly enough water. But yeah, I'm recounting this on video because I think it's very important to talk about it. Not just for the reasons I listed earlier, but because it's obviously affected the output on my channel, so I think it's important to acknowledge it and have it up on video. But also because I think people should see the effect that not being able to control my own stress had on me. I'm not at death's door or anything, and I'm not in constant pain, but it's rendered a number of very simple parts of my life and me damaged and in need of serious repair. I made the mistake of keeping a lot to myself and letting my emotions control me, and for a long time that seemed to do me okay. But at this point it's impossible to deny the negative consequences of my lack of thought or care for myself. The truth is, even though I've looked at my behavior and tried to find better ways to approach my stress and keep my feelings under control, I'm still finding it very difficult. I'm afraid for the most part. I'm afraid of being put back in the hospital. I'm afraid of my feeling worse, and I'm afraid of my health affecting things to the point that I can't do this anymore. You know? But I can't let it control my thoughts and fears that way. I can't let my fear be what dictates my actions. I can't let my stress overwhelm me to the point that it's all I know or understand. I simply cannot do those things anymore. But hey, from some negative news to some more positive news, I wanted to express my sincerest thanks to everybody who donated to our GoFundMe after I was hospitalized the first time this year. We had to raise a fairly high amount to compensate for the hospital bills that we were hit with, and I I'm happy to say that we hit the total very quickly and actually exceeded it by a fair amount, so thank you. Yes, 100% thank you to each and every one of you who donated. You guys were an incredible help, and you did a great thing in helping us get out of a bad situation. Conversely, it is also necessary for me to announce the launch of another GoFundMe that we've put together. This one to compensate for the multiple hospital stays that I've had since the last one, but also to take care of a lot of the work that I was unable to do due to the debilitating nature of how everything went down. Let me make it clear, I don't expect people to donate. I'd be very surprised if anyone who donated to the last GoFundMe donated to this one as well. But truly, anything you can afford or wish to send will be greatly appreciated and will go a long way to helping me and my wife get out of one of the toughest situations we've ever had to face. But not to be all doom and gloom, I wanted to announce that I will be getting back to the Yu-Gi-Oh! GX reviews in the imminent future. Not to mention, in December there will be another card pack, booster pack, opening pack series. I think I said pack a few too many times. But not only will I be working on those, I'll also be working on getting out the first episode of Season 5 of Yu-Gi-Oh! Abridged. Yes, the final season. It's a very bittersweet feeling to be approaching the final batch of episodes of Yu-Gi-Oh! Abridged, but it's also a very exciting and challenging feeling. It's gonna be a challenge just trying to live up to people's expectations as the first Abridged series to be released on YouTube from day one to whatever bloody day this is. But I am relishing the idea. I'm honestly happy to have the opportunity to try and keep making you guys laugh. Sometimes it makes everything feel so much simpler when I'm doing that. And hopefully I can find a way to get my work to ease my stress, or at least not aggravate it so much. Anyway, this has been me, Martin, LittleKuriboh, however you know me, updating you all on my health issues and where we're at on video production. Thank you as always for your understanding and your patience. I really don't know of many fandoms that require more patience than the LittleKuriboh fandom, so kudos to you guys. Next time you see me, I'll be cracking jokes and you'll be having a good time. I hope. But until then, I'll catch you later.